Eamon Ryan says that Ireland has to do more on climate change, despite the fact that we already contribute basically nothing to the world's man-made carbon emissions. This is SCALLAN and you're watching Gript Media. Before we start the video, if you want to support Gript and our work, make sure to click like, subscribe and comment even if you have absolutely nothing to say. Just comment your favorite flavor of ice cream or something like that. Because by liking, commenting and sharing, this channel will get boosted in the algorithm and get seen by more people. On one recent video, we only had 4% of viewers who actually clicked like, and we need to get that number up if we want to get bigger. So if you want to see this channel grow, just take 2 seconds right now to comment and do your part to support independent journalism. And with that said, on to the video. In Ireland today, there is a single number which absolutely everyone should be forced to learn off by heart. It should be shouted from the rooftops using megaphones. It should be plastered on billboards. It should be displayed on TV ads and on the sides of buses. And that number, my dear friends, is 0.09%. I repeat for emphasis, 0.09%. Once more, for the people in the back, 0.09%. Now, what's so special about 0.09%, you ask? What does this number mean? Well, this is how much Ireland contributes to global man-made carbon emissions according to the European Union's own figures. We contribute quite literally, without a hint of exaggeration, a fraction of a percent. If the entire nation of Ireland literally disappeared tomorrow, like so, the entire global man-made carbon emissions would not even go down by 0.1%, according to the EU's own data. For another visualization of just how absurd this is, also from the EU, here is a pie chart of CO2 contributions by country. And as you can see, or more precisely, as you can't see, Ireland's slice of the pie is literally so small you can't even identify it. See if you can try to find it like a game of Where's Wally, I dare you. And yet, in the face of this reality, what is Eamon Ryan's take on the situation? Well, apparently we simply aren't doing enough about climate change, and so we have to crash the economy. As reported by the journal.ie, Climate Minister Eamon Ryan has said that we will have to do more to reduce greenhouse gas emissions after a new report found that emissions have risen to above pre-COVID-19 pandemic levels. The figures show an increase of emissions of 4.7% in 2021 compared to 2020, when COVID-19 restrictions had led to a significant decrease in emissions. Now, by Ireland doing more, of course, Ryan means that you have to do more. He still intends on flying first class while telling you that he's going to end your cheap annual holidays. And he also thinks it's very unfair if you criticize him for that.
Is there not a real hypocrisy there? That on one side you're saying, stop everybody getting on cheap flights around Europe. But on the other side, you have Green ministers hopping on business class flights, which have 3 times the carbon of an economy seat, to go about their business.
Yeah, but you are going about the people's business. You're often getting off that flight and going into 12 hours of meetings, literally one after the other, where you're representing your country on important. And if you can arrive in a way that you actually represent best, then I believe it is appropriate to take it.
Notwithstanding the carbon emissions from those business class seats.
We try and offset that and do all the other measures and try and minimise travel. But yes, on occasion, do that. But can I say aviation...
But just one thing, because you do talk about offsetting, and I did read that statement from Catherine Martin, that those flights are offset. They're offset with taxpayers' money.
Yes, but you're there representing the people. As I said...
So it's easy to offset it when you're dipping into the Exchequer funds to do it, isn't it?
But you're there, the most important thing on that is you're there actually representing the country, and you want to do your best, and you want to be the fittest and most able to do it.
You don't think it's a credibility issue?
No, I believe it's right to try and represent the country to the best of your ability.
You see, it's not his fault for flying business class. His work is important, unlike yours presumably, and he has to present himself well. Don't be too harsh on him or anything. And by the way, if you want to see more commentary like this, please make sure to sign up for a €5 or €10 donation a month to help us keep paying the bills and continue doing this work. But regardless, back to Ryan. Of course, doing more on climate change also means that we have to have more carbon tax hikes, driving up the cost of fuel, energy, and everything else during a cost of living crisis, which he can afford to absorb. And bear in mind that when they say Ireland's CO2 emissions increased by 4.7% here, they mean 4.7% of 0.09%, which means a total global increase of 0.00423% because of Ireland last year. Now, obviously, this number is so small, it's actually hard to contemplate. So to put this in terms that we can actually understand, let's imagine instead of CO2 increases, we're talking about money increases. If you were on 49,000 euros per year and you received a 0.00423% pay rise, you would take home a whopping, wait for it, drum roll please, €2.07 extra per year, or 17 cents a month. Ooh la la, check out the baller over here. Don't spend it all in one place now. I mean, it's literally tip money that you would lose down the back of the sofa and not notice. That is the 4.7% CO2 increase that Eamon Ryan and the media are panicking about. This is what we're crashing the economy and driving up fuel costs over, to get this number down to half. At this point, people will probably say, but Irish people contribute more to CO2 than other countries per capita. And this is very true. And as well as being true, it's also completely irrelevant. The fact is, either we contribute a meaningful amount to the world total, or we don't. And the fact is, we don't. The per capita figure means absolutely nothing. This would be like somebody saying, you know, that stone you dropped in the ocean created a splash 5 times bigger than other stones of its size. And you go, oh really, Jenny Mac, and how big was the splash? Well, it was a couple of centimeters. And meanwhile, there are lads dropping nuclear bombs in the Pacific, causing tsunamis and wiping away entire villages. Oh, while your ripples are so small, they're barely within the margin of error and barely distinguishable from the general background noise. There is simply no comparison. The question then is not really, should Ireland do more on climate change? The real question here is, what could we ever do on climate change? What can a country of our size actually contribute? We have no noticeable emissions to cut in the global scheme of things. There's absolutely no question that we will create even a moderate difference one way or the other to the climate, no matter what we do. And therefore, this entire green exercise, with all of its economy-destroying consequences, is purely a form of theatre to look like we're doing our part. It's showboating to our European neighbours to look modern and trendy while crippling people financially at home, like farmers and so on. Every single time a senator, a TD or a journalist utters the words climate change, people should respond with one simple figure: 0.09%. It should be repeated relentlessly ad infinitum. They should get no rest from it. It should haunt them at night like the boogeyman. Say it with me, folks: 0.09%. Please like and share this video, and if you enjoyed it, please consider signing up for a monthly donation via the links on screen to help us produce more content like this. Alternative media like Gript needs all the assistance it can get, and every donation goes a long way. As always, thanks for watching.